Will he do the smell test? Should he do the smell test? Of course he does the smell test. Yo, what's good everyone? Thank you for tuning in to today's video. If you're new around here, my name is Aiden, and after almost, I believe, 2 weeks away, we are finally back with some brand new content for the channel. Now, I did decide to take all of last week off, simply because of the fact that this heat wave was doing too much for me. It was absolutely relentless, and I just couldn't film under those circumstances. The heat was definitely doing too much for me. So with that in mind, I did decide to push a few videos back, and that's why we haven't really been seeing too many videos. But as you can see from the title, we of course are back with another Air Max 1, but not just any ordinary bog standard GR. This is an absolute classic coming straight out of the vault, and this is a colourway we actually haven't seen since 2017, if I'm remembering that rightly. And if I'm also remembering it rightly, I don't actually think we've ever seen this colourway on this specific style of this silhouette. Now, of course, you can see the title, and of course, you can see the thumbnail. So in today's review, we will be taking a look at the newly released Nike Air Max 1 86 Big Bubble in the Obsidian colourway. A shoe that I'm absolutely gassed about. I'm so excited to be getting into this review. So of course, I don't want to take up too much time on this intro. So just sit back, relax, and let's go ahead and get straight into this video. So just like we always do before we get into the shoes, let's just get this off with the packaging. And because this is part of the Big Bubble lineup, we do actually see that exact same box that we did see with the other previous pairs as well. Now for the box itself, you do get that really nice distressed aged look to it, very much in that lost and found theme. So we have a black base with this red distressing, and then right across the centre of the box we do have that hollowed out Nike swoosh, which does actually allow you to look inside the box, which I've said it before, I'll say it again, is definitely a very nice design detail. Now we do of course also have some details on either side of the box with the 4 air units, which is to signify the Big Bubble. Hopefully the camera's picking that up for you. And then if we do just take a quick look at the label, which reads, we have the Nike Air Max 1 86, and it's in the white Obsidian LT neutral grey colourway. And of course, as it is a personal pair, it is a UK size 9, which hopefully again the camera is picking up for you guys. Now outside of that, if we then open up the box itself, on the inside we do have that retro style of tissue paper, which, you know, we do get with all the Big Bubble colourways. And then underneath that, we have what we came for, so let's go ahead and get straight into the shoes. So without any further ado, the moment we've all been waiting for, in hand we have the Nike Air Max 1 86 Big Bubble in the Obsidian colourway. Now I have been seeing quite a few different creators actually dubbing this the USA colourway, which, yeah, it's got the USA colours in there, but I've always known this as to be the Obsidian, so I'll definitely be calling it the Obsidian, but I don't know why people are calling it the USA. I don't know, maybe if certain different places label it something else, but for me, this will always be the Obsidian, so that's just that. Now, this is very much one of those OG colourways that I've always wanted to have in my collection as far as Air Max 1s are concerned. Now, again, like I said with the Big Bubbles, I don't have the anniversary red, so that was very much a very good alternative option. So the same can be said with this one. We've not seen the Obsidian release since 2017, since they did that anniversary pack, and I don't actually expect it to come back anytime soon, especially now we do have these. So this was one of those shoes that I absolutely couldn't pass up on. And fortunately enough for me, thanks to Sneaker Spot and their Discord and the incredible community that they've built over there, I was able to actually get a discount code of over 20% off for these. So I actually got these for about 116 quid, which could actually be just exactly 20% off if I'm thinking about it now. But still, £116, I was absolutely elated to get that for that price.
I feel so alive!
Now, I've actually done a quick bit of research before sitting down to do this video, and it actually, quite surprisingly, has appeared to have sold out at pretty much every single retailer, especially in the bigger sizes, like size 9 and up. There are a few sizes dotted around, and I will be honest, I do expect some potential restocks in the very near future. So if you are tuning into this video today to decide if maybe this is worth the investment for resale, or if maybe you want to get this down the line if there are restocks, in my review, just like I always do, I'll tell you everything that you need to know, from materials all the way through to sizing. So by the end of this video, you can decide for yourself whether this is something you want to add to your own collection as well. So just diving straight into this one, starting out with the upper to begin with. For this one, we do actually see an all-time classic Air Max 1 colourway, consisting of that Obsidian navy, red, white and grey. This for me is definitely up there as one of the top 5 best Air Max 1 colourways to have ever been created. So to see it for the very first time on the 86 model, It's absolutely monumental, it's absolutely incredible. And I will be completely honest, it definitely looks a lot better in person. It's a lot better than the pictures show. And it's probably even a lot better than the actual images I'm showing you on camera right now. So if we get into some of the details about this shoe and why I love it so much, we'll kick this off on the front of the shoe and we'll gradually work our way back. So at the base of the shoe, we do have your very typical all-white mesh material making up the base of the shoe itself, which is then nicely accented by that Obsidian navy colour around the toe box, making up this mudguard, and that has been constructed using that very familiar felt-like material. Now, we have been seeing this exact same felt material on a lot of Air Max 1 releases recently. I could go through a whole host of them. You probably already know what they are, especially if you are subscribed to this channel and you watch a lot of the videos. We saw it on the Chilies, the Fuchsias, and a whole bunch of others, the Big Bubbles as well. The material is very, very similar, so if you picked up any of those, you'll have a pretty good understanding as to what the quality is like. Don't get me wrong, it's nothing premium, it's nothing designer, but just as far as the overall feel and the texture is concerned, it's very nice, it's very soft, and it's, you know, absolutely no complaints for me. The biggest thing about it is the colour combination. That Obsidian and the white just looks absolutely incredible in person. Some people may say it's very similar to the Chilies off the lighting, but just honestly trust me, when you get these in hand, the colour definitely does pop, and it looks, again, absolutely incredible in person. Now, as we do continue to work our way throughout the rest of the upper, we then see that transition from that obsidian blue and that white into this very nice grey colour. So we see it first and foremost on the U-throw, but then again in the quarter midfoot panel. And again, both of these materials have been constructed from that felt-like material, so again, very nice and soft to the touch. In the middle of the midfoot, we then have, just like what we saw with the mudguard, we do have that obsidian coloured felt-like material, make up this Nike swoosh, and that is the same on both the lateral and medial sides. And from there, we do work our way onto the ankle collar, just starting off with the top eye stays to begin with. The eye stays themselves have been constructed from a red TPU material. Now, as far as the ankle collar is concerned, we do have a slightly different mix-up as far as the actual material is concerned, as it's not the exact same mesh that we see with the toe box, and it does actually have a slight sheen to it. Now, we did see this recently with the Fuchsias and the Pale Ivories, and in both of those reviews, I said I wasn't a fan of it, and it doesn't really change for this shoe either. I really don't like how it looks. It's just a design detail about this shoe that I'm just honestly not a big fan of. Does it take anything away from me? Not a lot, really, especially when I'm wearing these with jeans, which I will be doing most of the time as we head into winter, so I won't even really see it. But just seeing it in hand, there's something about it I don't like. I would have preferred regular mesh, but outside of that, there's honestly not really a lot to complain about. And as we then reach the heel of the shoe itself, the makeup is exactly the same as we've seen throughout the rest of the shoe. So we have that obsidian navy colour around the base, we then have that grey felt in the middle, and then completing the look to the heel itself, we do of course have that very nice pop of red, which is actually featured on that Nike Air branding, and in my humble opinion, it just looks absolutely incredible. Now, when it does come to the lace options for this one, we do only actually get the one set of laces, and in my personal opinion, they are slightly on the thin side. Now, they are of a flat white shoelace, but again, just a little bit too thin. I don't know why they're coming like this. It was the same with the Big Bubble Anniversary Reds, and I think even the Safari pair that I've got as well. I kind of didn't mind it at first, but the more I've seen it, the more I don't like it. And I've actually seen a lot of people do a lace swap, and I do think that in the long term, I'll probably just put a regular flat white shoelace in there. I don't think I'm going to do it right away, because I'll be honest, I'm just a little bit lazy and it just seems like a little bit of a hassle, but the laces are absolutely fine. But I do think a switch up to a regular lace will actually improve the overall look of the shoe, just as far as I'm concerned. And then just beneath the laces themselves, we do have that very standard all-white mesh material making up the base of the tongue itself. At the top of the tongue, we then have a white tongue tag, which does actually feature this navy and red coloured Nike Air Max branding. And again, that colour combination just looks absolutely incredible in my personal opinion. And from there, as we do work our way onto the inside of the shoe, as far as the sock liner is concerned, it is just a very standard cotton sock liner. It's probably a little bit more flushed out than a regular Air Max 1, but definitely not enough that it really makes that much of a difference. The overall comfort on this, which I will get onto in a second, is absolutely fine. One thing I do really like about the sock liner with the Big Bubble renditions is the fact that we do have the OG sizing. So with my pair, it does show a US size 10, which of course translates to a UK size 9. It's a little detail, but it's definitely a detail that I definitely do appreciate. So every time I see it, I'm definitely a big fan of it. And as we then continue to work our way even further onto the inside of the shoe, we just have a very standard all red insole, which does also feature that white Nike Air branding. And then just to close out in terms of the details, as we do work our way down to the midsole, we do have a polyurethane material making up the midsole itself. And as the name does suggest, towards the back end, we do of course see the big bubble. Now, I've said it before, I'll say it again. When I first saw the big bubble design, I absolutely hated, immediately dismissed it, said I'd never buy it, said I'd never wear it. And then as soon as I got the anniversary red pair and I actually started to wear them out and about, the actual comfort on these is absolutely incredible. It's definitely a lot more cushioned. It's definitely better suited to all day wear in my opinion. I personally already find Air Max 1s very, very comfortable. That's why I have a lot in the collection. But I do feel like this big bubble is slightly more comfortable. It's not a massive drastic change, but being the fact that it's a bigger air unit, as far as I'm concerned, it definitely has a slightly more comfortable feel and aspect to it. And again, I feel like the more I've seen it, the more I've actually come around to the idea on that big bubble design. It's definitely very different to a regular Air Max 1. It changes the overall look of the silhouette, but it is definitely something about this shoe that I am starting to really love about them as well. So maybe in the long run I may actually start to see a lot more big bubbles in the collection, who knows. And as we then work our way onto the outsole of the shoe, we do have what is almost a classic Air Max 1 style of outsole, just with a slight twist. Now it does maintain that exact same waffle style of design, and it has been done of that two-tone colour combination, which of course is that black and white. But just to add a really nice pop of colour, just beneath the toe box we do have that very nice hue of red, which in my personal opinion, again, is a very, very nice design choice. Now when it does come to the overall sizing for these, like I said at the start of the video, I just went with my natural true to size fit, which for me personally is with a UK size 9. Now that's the same size that I wear in both the 86s, this one, and the regular Air Max 1, which is an 87 cut. And even though there's slightly more wiggle room in the toe box with the 86s, I don't feel like half sizing down would be a benefit to me as a wide footer. Maybe if you're more narrow footed, a half size down might actually be better suited. But I think if you're looking just for a regular all day wear, and you do kind of like a little bit of extra wiggle room, true to size, I think you're going to be absolutely fine. And then outside of that, we've covered everything that you need to know. So if we now just go ahead and just wrap up this video. So just to wrap up this video, so you guys can get out of here, in terms of my overall opinion on the shoe itself, to give this shoe a rating, I'm going to say it is a very solid 9 out of 10. Now, just as a quick confession, this is actually the third time I've actually had to shoot this. My camera's having an absolute nightmare, and for some reason or another, the first time it didn't record, the second time the recording corrupted, so this is the third time I've given them a 9 out of 10 rating. So at this point, a 9 out of 10 definitely must be what I'm actually feeling for this one. I definitely got no major complaints. The overall QC on my part, absolutely fine. And I think the biggest selling point about this shoe is the fact that it is that classic Obsidian colourway. Again, I don't own any 2017 pairs. I don't think we'll be seeing the Obsidian anytime soon now that we have these. So it's a very nice consolation prize just to be able to say I've got it in the collection. Again, I'm just so happy to add these in. And I do feel like, again, to touch onto the comfort side of things, I'll probably end up wearing these a lot more than a lot of the other Air Max 1s in my collection as well. Now, of course, people are saying that these are similar to the Chili's. Again, something I mentioned in the review. I personally feel like both of the shoes are absolutely incredible, and they are definitely different enough to add into your own collection. So if you like them both, I'd highly recommend getting them both because they're both absolutely incredible. So other than that, I've really not got a lot to say. I've got no complaints. I'm very happy to get it. Even more happy to get it at the price that I paid. So overall, this is definitely one of the best shoes that I've actually added into my collection this year. So don't be surprised to actually see these making the top 10 that we actually do at the top end of the year as well, because I do feel like this is definitely going to make the cut for me. That's all I really had to say about it. I've definitely rambled on for more than I should have done. So with all that said, I'd love to get your guys' opinion on this shoe, my rating, and anything else that you do have on your mind. Do make sure to let us all know in the comment section down below. And just like I say in each and every one of my videos, for everyone that stuck with us right the way through to the end, I do just want to say a massive thank you. If you haven't already, please feel free to smash that subscribe button. Also, do make sure the bell notification is switched on so you never miss a video. And I hope to see you all again in the next one. Peace. I honestly wasn't kidding. I recorded the whole video from start to finish. One take, didn't record. Again, start to finish, corrupted. 3 times recording an entire video from intro to outro with no cuts. This has been an endeavour. It is currently 25 degrees in this room. The lights are killing me. I'm burning hot. My lips are dry. And that's it. I've had enough. This is my rant. I'm done. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.